Hey everyone, today we're going to tackle one of the most satisfying little fixes in the world of Linux. We're going to conquer the etc fstab file so your drives show up exactly where you want them every single time. You know the feeling, right? You get a new drive, you set it up perfectly for all your media or your backups, you reboot your machine, and poof, it's gone. You've got to go find it and mount it all over again. It's so annoying. But don't worry, there is a permanent, elegant, built-in solution for this. And that solution is this little text file called /etc/fstab. You can think of it as the instruction manual your Linux system reads the moment it wakes up. It's what tells your computer, hey, go find this drive, connect it right here, and use it like this. So yeah, editing this file is the real way to fix that disappearing drive problem for good. No more manual work after a reboot, no more hunting for your files. This is how you make your setup solid and reliable. The best way to picture what fstab does is to think of it as a map for your drives. Every single line you add to this file is like a new set of turn-by-turn directions. If you get those directions right, your system will find its destination every single time without a problem. Now, when you first open this file, it might look a little intimidating. I get it, but it's really just a simple table with 6 columns. Once you know what each column is for, it all clicks into place. So let's decode this map together. And here it is, broken down. Every line in that file follows this exact pattern. First, what drive are we mounting? Second, where's it going to go? Third, what's its file format? Fourth, how should we mount it? What are the rules? And then these last 2 little numbers for backup and error checking. That's the whole thing. Okay, let's talk about that first column, what drive to mount. And this is probably the most important part. You could use something like /dev/sdb1, but that is a really bad idea. See, those device names can change. You plug in another USB stick and suddenly your drive might become /dev/sdc1. If that happens on your next reboot, your system looks for SDB1, can't find it, and it can actually prevent your entire system from booting up, no joke. That's why we always use the UUID. Think of it as your drive's permanent serial number. It never ever changes. Now for the how column, which sets the rules. For most internal drives, you can just use defaults and you're good to go. But here's a massive pro tip, the no-fail option. This is an absolute must-have for any external or USB drive. It tells your system, hey, if for some reason you can't find this drive when you boot up, don't panic. Just skip it and move on. Honestly, this one little word can save you from a huge boot-up headache. The last 2 columns, they're the easiest. For column 5, just always use a 0. It's for an old backup tool that's not really used anymore. For column 6, which handles error checking, the rule is pretty simple. Use 0 for external drives or Windows partitions. The number 1 is special. It's reserved only for your main operating system drive. And 2 is for all your other internal Linux drives. So for the new data drive we're adding, the last 2 numbers will almost always be 0 and 2. Simple as that. All right, enough theory. Let's actually get our hands dirty and do this. We're going to walk through 5 simple and, more importantly, safe steps to get your drive mounted permanently. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll grab the drive's unique ID. Second, we'll make an empty folder for it to live in. Third, and you can't skip this, we'll back up the fstab file before we touch it. Fourth, we'll test our changes without even having to reboot. And finally, we'll double-check that everything works perfectly. Let's go. Okay, step 1, we need that special address for our drive. Just open up a terminal and type in lsblk-f. You'll get a list of all your drives and partitions, find the one you want to auto-mount, look for the UUID, and just copy that big, long string of letters and numbers. Next up, our drive needs a home inside your file system. This is called the mount point, and it's really just an empty folder. A great place for this is inside the /mnt directory. So a quick command like sudo mkdir /mnt/media will create that perfect spot for us. Okay, pause. I cannot say this loud enough. Before you even think about editing etc/fstab, you have to make a backup. I mean it. And here's how you create that safety net. Just run this one command, sudo cp/etc/fstab/etc/fstab.backup. That's it. You've now got a perfect copy of the files sitting right there. If anything goes wrong, you can restore it in seconds. Now we can move forward with total confidence. All right, time to put it all together. You're going to open /etc/fstab with a text editor, go all the way to the bottom, and add one new line that looks just like this. You just paste in the UUID you copied, then type the mount point we created, the file system type, the word defaults, and finish it off with a 0 and a 2. This one line is all the instruction your system needs. So you've added the line and saved the file. The hard part is officially over. Now for the really cool part. We're going to test our work and make it live right now, without the risk of a full reboot. This is the moment of truth, right? Did we type everything correctly? Is there a typo? Well, we don't have to cross our fingers and reboot to find out. We can test it the safe way. And this is the magic command, sudo mount-a. This tells your system to read the fstab file again and mount everything in it that isn't already mounted. Now, here's the best part. If you run this command and you see nothing, if it just returns you to the prompt without any message, that means it worked. Silence is success. So if you didn't get a single error message, then congratulations, you did it. Your fstab entry is perfect, and the system just mounted your drive using your brand new instructions. You can officially relax. For that final little bit of confirmation, just run lsblk one last time. And there it is. You should see your drive partition, and right there next to it, the mount point you created. Your files are now ready to go at /mnt/media, and they'll be there every single time you boot up your computer. And there you have it. You've taken direct control over your system storage, and you've permanently fixed one of the most common little annoyances in Linux. By understanding just this one file, you've unlocked a whole new level of command over your machine. It kind of makes you wonder, what else can you automate?